Alright, Trenton, we're here.
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
All right, what up, everybody? Welcome to this interview with Settle the Sky. We are, Josh and I are hanging out here on Zoom for the first time with a bunch of these guys here.
What's up, guys?
This is the first time we've done anything like this, like a full band virtually. So we took about maybe 30 minutes to an hour to get it all set up, and here we are. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so everybody can see your names and stuff, but I'm gonna do the cheesy question real quick, and everybody just introduce yourselves and your background and what you guys all do in the band and all that.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can get this started. My name's Ian. I play guitar. I riff.
I'm JD. I do singing and screaming, and I also play all the piano, synth, and keyboards.
I'm Dan Gardner, and I do all the vocals.
My name is Jeremiah Brittner, and I also play guitar.
My name's Sam. I do the drums.
I am Mick, and I play bass.
All right, is that everybody? We got everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And I'm Trenton, the host, and Josh is our producer. So, what have you guys been up to? You guys have just dropped a new EP and everything. It is 2021. It came out near the end of last year and stuff, and bringing back some of those old school MySpace metalcore vibes and everything. So, first of all, for those who do remember you guys, it's been a long time since you guys have done anything like that. So, what have you guys been up to as a band or individually over the past, I don't know, like 10 years or so that the original stuff has been out?
Who wants to take this one?
I can take this one. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. We broke up back in probably, 2011?
2010.
Somewhere around there. 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, Dan's been in Convictions, Watched Us Burn. We've all kind of had like some solo projects and a couple other things going on, but mostly we've been all becoming family guys and getting old. That's been the main thing that's been going down.
Oh, facts, for sure.
And then when we realized we got back together for a reunion show, and we had a lot of fun. Then we got back together for another reunion show. We had even more fun. We decided hey, let's kick it. Let's start writing some music. Because Ian had some riffs, Jeremiah had some riffs, and we were just like, I mean, why not? We can do this thing. We can't really play shows the same way anymore. We can't tour as much as we used to, but we can do it. Let's get back together. Let's start writing music and see what happens. And then Year of Ruin just kind of started coming out of that.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else have anything to add, or?
I mean, he pretty much nailed it on the head.
Yeah. I think though, like having the technology advances since when we were kind of younger, we've really been able to almost just Dropbox this entire record to each other and kind of hey, I got a riff, send it over to me. I'll put some drums on it, and that's really how it kind of lived on.
So, how much of the music that you guys play, with technology and stuff, there are like a lot of virtual drum applications you can use to make music. There's a MIDI keyboard you can use to make a lot of music. So, how much of the music was, I guess, programmed, by you guys versus, like recording, live, and sending the actual like instruments to each other?
It was practically all just digital.
Ian does this amazing thing where he records his guitar into GarageBand on his phone.
Ooh.
And sends it to me, which is pretty low quality.
Yeah, I've been roasted.
But so I have the ability to just use those to kind of lay down kind of what I want, and then just kind of format the MIDI and a DAW, and like just using the technology to like basically entirely track my drums, and then I just kind of was able to send it in when Dan and John went to the studio and recorded vocals, and we laid the guitars down.
Okay. So, I guess how different was it, doing it in like 2020 versus, back in, was it 2009 or 2010 or something like that when you guys released the first EP and all that? Because back then you kind of had to use
earlier.
Earlier.
2007.
Oh, wow.
We recorded it. And we all had to pack up in a van and drive down to where were we at?
Connorsville, Indiana.
That's where
Indiana.
we were in Indiana for a week in a cabin
with Joey Sturgis.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so go from that to this, did you find it, more easy or more fun, or would you rather go back to the old days where you had to, get in the van and go hang out at the studio for a couple weeks?
It would be nice to be able to do that, but like JD said, I've got 2 kids now. Just had our second child last week, so we don't have the ability to do that anymore. That was such a fun part of our lives, and wish we could do that. But this is just more practical and makes it able to happen. Otherwise, I don't think be able to do it just with the schedule I have.
Makes it to where we don't all end up immediately divorced. I do miss recording with like Joey Sturgis and being able to drive and get everybody together in one room and record all the songs. But I mean, we're kind of doing things a little bit the same way as far as the recording process goes. We're just doing it at different times. We're able to do it locally because our buddy Eric Krolak from Yeti Studios recorded this in Toledo, which is not too far from us. So it's not too far of a drive, and especially with us just kind of sharing the song back and forth and getting things rolling and just getting the finished copy of it in Toledo, it's been pretty beneficial. So there's some give and take on both sides.
Right. It's also pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to just be able to write and riff and record while you're in like your underwear. So the convenience. I mean, the convenience of how this record came about all really kind of was inspired through quarantine. Like literally forcibly being home and having nothing else to do, so you got creative, and writing metalcore riffs in your boxers is pretty awesome. So that's a highlight, I guess.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to ask. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say the difference between doing vocals this time around is me and JD kind of just write in the studio. Like we have like a base of like a context what we want to write the song about, but actually like when me and him both are together in the studio, when all the musical or all the instruments are recorded, that's when we like, all right, let's sit down, let's write lyrics. Before we wrote lyrics like in the room, like while the song was being written itself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was a lot more time to focus on like the vocals and the patterns and the melodies. Yeah, just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, so like for a lot of, I guess quarantine helped you guys out because, for a lot of bands, when we've done these types of virtual interviews, I always ask, how has it impacted, the band's plans? But, being you guys are, are dads who have jobs and, are doing this kind of on the side, I assume not too much in terms of, I guess, unless you guys plan to play shows, but it seems like quarantine actually is the reason why you guys wrote this thing from what I was.
Pretty much.
For sure.
It's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we played a couple reunion shows that kind of got us back into the swing of things, and we wouldn't mind doing a couple shows here and there, but definitely we wouldn't be able to play as full-time as we'd like to or anything like that. But I mean, if the festival was coming through or something that we could all get together and we could all get the day off and jam, I mean, hey, let's have some fun.
Hey, family vacation. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's that one big festival that was supposed to happen last year that got canceled, but is moving?
Furnace
Furnace.
Fest.
Yes,
Furnace
you guys should.
I still have my ticket.
I was gonna say you guys should totally play that. And, that seems like the right opportunity. I mean,
I think they're reaching out now.
applications right now.
Hey,
yeah,
Furnace
it's
Fest,
literally,
hit us up. I don't want to buy a ticket, so let's do it.
It's really like a big reunion festival of all those bands who broke up or never really got too big, coming back into playing those things along with the lifers and all that. So I think you guys be perfect for that one.
I thought that thing was fake, for real.
No,
I told the whole.
Just another fire fest.
I told the whole band, I'm like, that thing's fake. Don't even buy a ticket. For real.
Dude, literally every band I listened to in high school playing, and they had other old emo bands too, like Jeremy Enoch from Sunny Day Real Estate was playing, and I was like, this is literally 17-year-old me's perfect festival, and they've had to obviously delay it twice, and they've actually put up like, hey, we're taking applications if any band wants to play next year in September. So
there you go.
Call us. We're waiting.
It's not too far from you guys, is it either?
Oh, it's far away. It's down in Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Alabama. That's right. I don't know why I thought it was up there, in the Midwest or something.
I wish. Cornerstone was.
I was thinking about Cornerstone. Yeah.
Cornerstone was just over in Indiana, like Evansville or something.
Yeah. So that'd be cool. So with the music and everything, bringing back, I guess, the older vibe, and everything. What led into like writing the music and stuff, the style of it and everything, the whole like synthesizers and stuff. Because a lot of bands, I'm not talking crap on them or anything, but like Attack Attack's coming back. You guys have interacted with them a little bit on the internet recently, but they've had the whole crapcore thing coming back, and the single, it's not really the 2008 crapcore style, but you guys actually put out music that sounds like the era that you guys started in, and so what went into doing things that way?
Because we're the creators of that crap. We're the creators of the crap, stupid.
Oh no.
Just like Stinger Betray, use the creator of metalcore.
Like how can
dude.
listen, how can you say that like you're the keepers of the crap when your new song sounds like a watered down Disturbed? Like you can't do that.
Damn.
Spicy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Just that's cool for them, like more power to you, but they continue to kind of.
Made you guys want to keep that style, versus trying something different,
Just what we've always loved, first of all.
I was about to say,
just right now we enjoy to write.
Yeah,
Right.
we really dig that. We really have fun with it. We're just trying to write the stuff that we really enjoy, first and foremost. Secondly, I'm not even like trying to plug myself, but I've been really diving into the synth world even more lately. I started a solo project called Rodney Laserfield.
Okay.
Where it's literally just all synth, all kind of like gaming music, just having fun, and that's just kind of reflected in the Settle the Sky stuff as well. As I'm learning there, I'm adding that stuff kind of into our music. And Ian and Jeremiah are just riffing their lives away, and we're just putting it all together.
Yeah.
What we got.
Well, a lot of the pieces, like I got out of the band in like 2008, and I've still played after that, and so some of it is just pieces of riffs that I wrote in 2008, 2009, 2010.
That's right.
And just sprinkled them in there. So a big reason this sounds like that era is because that was built with parts of that era. So.
Right.
Okay.
The same's true for me as well. The one riff that I wrote for Creatures of Habit, that was another riff that I had started writing back in the day and kind of progressed throughout the years to become what it was.
No, when we said that this EP was literally 13 years in the making, there's no exaggeration. Like there's stuff that has been left over. I mean, we a couple years ago, I think it was 2017, we put out a single called "A New Way," and that was literally we called it the Jeremiah riff because it was an old Jeremiah riff he's been playing for a decade, and we're just like, we're gonna finally use this one.
Yeah, I was just genuinely surprised listening to it, because once those like synthy breakdowns hit, I was like, oh, they actually did go there, like hardcore, it wasn't just sprinkled in, it was there, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, we kind of knew that. I mean, we love to hear that stuff, and we kind of know that stuff is kind of like died off, or it's like peppered in here and there, but nobody's really doing that style anymore. It was like, well, if we're gonna come back, that's kind of what we were known for. We might as well just keep that train moving and be the only ones out here still really carrying that sound and doing it from the OG way.
Yeah. Now, have you seen a resurgence, and I guess not really a resurgence, but a growth, since you came back and stuff? Because you guys were one of those bands that had like a very dedicated, loyal cult following and stuff. And when you came back, people were excited and everything. Have you found that there's been like new people coming in, like, oh, never heard you guys before, acting like you guys are a new band,
A little bit here and there. I think for the most part, it's been a lot of older fans or people who are just now discovering that we are back, that maybe didn't hear a new way. People kind of still trailing in. But yeah, I mean, we've gained quite a few new followers on Instagram. We're just trying to really connect with all the new people coming in and just trying to make a connection, to be real personable. Because we were never like, we had a lot of hype, we had some growth, but we were never like a huge band. So we've always kind of valued that audience communication, that engagement, I guess.
Yeah. And it's cool because, you guys were one of those bands, I guess you want to call it a MySpace band, that a lot of people like me who was like, 18, 19 at the time, was just finding this stuff, finding, all these bands on MySpace, and all those bands went away, a lot of people never heard of them, and then some of them come back, and so it's good to see you guys, back and doing this again. How long do you guys plan to keep making music, or is it just kind of just like, just whenever you guys get interested in doing it, you guys are going to do it, or is there like
As long as we can.
Yeah, I was gonna say as long as we can, man. For real.
I mean, we're already working on new riffs. I've got a new song I'm working on that I've already sent and said this is what I want in the next EP. So I think a lot of what people are doing now are sending out shorter bits of music, making more EPs and less albums.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we can throw 5 songs together, in a couple months and put it out, we're gonna keep doing that as long as we can and enjoy doing it.
Yeah,
As long as it's fun.
Yeah, of course. That's something different too. Is like with Spotify and everything's got to be like playlisted now to get listens. In order to keep getting playlisted, you got to keep putting out music. And so there's no complaints from me and other people who enjoy your music, about that. So we definitely like whatever you guys put out. So yeah. Other than music and stuff, whenever shows come back, how heavy are the shows going to be for you guys, touring and playing and all that, since you guys are dads and everything?
Probably not happening. We would love to. Trust me, we would love.
Oh
to.
yeah.
We miss it every day, but probably like what do we say, fellas? Like 2 shows a year, if that.
Yeah. Like hit that metalcore festival circuit, and the God honest truth is it needs to be schedule permitting, but also financially sound. So if like for example Furnace Fest wanted to hit us up, and we can make a nice we can make a nice weekend of it. Like a nice little family vacation. And then at the same time be able to fucking play together again, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I agree with Ian right there. That's a good solid point. Because we're like literally we're all dads except for Sam. So he's got like dogs and cats or whatever, but
that counts.
And he's got
we're all dads, man. It's kind of hard to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you see your kids taking an interest in music, forming, I guess, a Zelda Sky Part 2 or anything like that in the future?
Hell yeah.
I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen, a bunch of kids who are the children of band dudes, form a band,
Oh, you wait.
It actually has happened. I think 4 of Wu-Tang Clan's kids started a rap group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my daughter has a dope metal scream.
Yes, she does.
I've been teaching her that since day one. So.
Hey, I'm working on my sons right now. This is getting pretty deep as well. I'm like, okay, kid, I see you.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good scream.
My kid has zero interest in music. Zero interest.
My kid's 9 days old, but he's got chunky fingers, so unfortunately I think it's going to be another bassist.
I'm pretty sure they got some pretty good screams too, being that young, sitting there screaming all day. So.
Wailing. Oh yeah.
Record some, Mike. We will. We'll sample it.
Yeah.
That would be dope. Sampling a baby's cry into like a metalcore song.
Yeah. That's another thing we wanted to bring
I was gonna say it's on you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's another thing we wanted to make sure we brought back, especially on this EP, was not sampling so much, but just like sound clips before breakdowns. Like
Yes,
made MySpace like the thing, those little moments that you like craved for back in the MySpace days, back in the Pure Volume days. We wanted to bring that to the new scene. So
yes, I forgot about that part. I was listening to that too, and I was like, oh crap, they actually brought like the whole samples back for the breakdown.
I mean, one of the biggest things we were known for was our song Cheyenne, and for that last breakdown with the It Could Scare You. So on Creatures of Habit, we had our buddy Adam Lynn do some vocals, and we knew we just had to add that. I think it's Alan Watts clip in there of This Is a Disaster. Which thought that was a lot of fun.
That had a little bit of distortion on it when we were first playing with it, and when I first heard it, it almost sounded exactly like the This Could Scare You.
Yeah. Speaking of that, quick question. You guys work with Joey, and so that breakdown also sounds like it appears in another band who worked with Joey's, song on their album too. So like, I'm just kind of curious on what's the thinking right there.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that went through Joey just sounded similar. We're coming from similar record labels at the time. But the funny thing for us about Cheyenne is, it was one of the first ones to come out like that. I mean, I think Miss May I had one that sounded pretty similar, and I told Levi about it, and he thought that was pretty funny, and said sorry. I mean, Stickly kind of sounds a little.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
There's literally a YouTube video about it.
I mean, we did play a show with them like in 2006, so I mean,
yeah, I've just always wondered the relation between that and that one and the Six Stickly one, because they play them side by side. They literally sound identical, and so I'm just curious on like how that shift. If you guys were like, hey, yeah, you can use this or something. It was something.
No, there was no conversation. I think it was just us being Ohio metalcore bands playing some of the same shows together. Both recording at Joey Sturgis, all of that kind of stuff. As well, what was weird for us was Cheyenne was never supposed to be on the EP.
No,
That was the last song we added, and it actually, when we first went to record it, it didn't have the intro, the piano intro, and it didn't have the ending breakdown. We just had the meat of the song. We added that stuff on in the studio because we knew it just needed something more, and thank God we did, because that's what gave us the career we had.
I also do have to point out that breakdown for Cheyenne, I was so proud of that for years because it was like my one crowning achievement. It's the only thing I wrote on that album was that breakdown. I stole it first from an old band Ian used to be in. It was unintentional.
As Dreams Die.
Yeah, I didn't know it until years later until somebody pointed it out, but I definitely used to listen to his old band's EP all the time and didn't realize it wasn't intentional that I stole it, but yeah.
I mean, that's just the way of metalcore. I mean, back in the mid-2000s, that's just sort of how it was.
Especially
everybody,
Ohio metalcore.
Yeah, everybody played shows together. Everybody essentially, I mean, we're in the Midwest, we're playing in cornfields every weekend, and just sort of by osmosis, breakdowns just kind of happen. You can only have so many chug patterns unless you're August Burns Red. And you're, channeling like patterns of like a broken sprinkler. But other than that, or Meshuggah. But I mean, it's fun to like have a little bit of a flair of like, oh, attack, Stickly sounds really similar. But I mean, our breakdown sounds like another breakdown of another breakdown of another breakdown. Like, I think one of the breakdowns in Gods Can Go Beards All Over on the EP.
Title, by the way, I saw that title pop up and I started laughing when I first heard that song.
Yeah, people are already on the mark going like, are you throwing some shade at Prada now? Or like,
oh my god.
No, but like,
you mean our biggest
what if we are
throwing shade?
Yeah, right.
Who inspired us?
But like the breakdown of that, like we recorded it. Yeah, that sounds sick. But like it sounded like two different breakdowns of like other bands. Like, dang it! Like it sounds like 18 Visions. Like this old metalcore, old stuff that we all used to listen to skateboarding at the Fremont Rec Center. And like that was our influences, and that was sort of the inspiration of like music that we were making with this. So
it's hard.
It's metalcore, baby.
Yeah, it's hard in the 2000s when we were younger when quite literally almost every weekend, we were playing shows and listening to every band we played with. You know, we truly had a love for it. So we didn't just go to shows and, you know, hang out away from everyone. We were watching these bands. So when you're watching that much, and Ohio, I think is pretty safe to say, it was one of the big staples for metalcore in the 2000s. I don't know an argument for any other state. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't
And
either.
so
Yeah.
playing with a lot of these bigger bands, I mean, it's kind of hard not to get that mix in there.
Yeah, I mean, Miss May I, Attack, Devil Wears Prada, At the Throne of Judgment. I mean, the list goes on and on. From the mid-2000s metalcore hotbed, baby.
Yeah, I mean, not too far. Detroit with We Car, 19 Stars, and Chiodos and all those bands too.
Oh yeah,
so.
definitely played a few.
Midwest versus everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy how that changes, because I think before that it was like the Southern California, you know, like 18 Visions, you know, like you mentioned, and for some reason Ohio, you know, just. And you can throw August Burns Red from middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, into that mix too, because they came up around that time too. But it's like
because we got nothing to do out here.
Yeah, it's like Ohio became like the place for like all the top 20 Billboard selling metalcore bands, you know, for like 8 years or so, which is pretty crazy. So
you either start farming or you do some breakdowns. What do you want to do?
There you go. All right, guys. Before we wrap it up, here's anything else you guys want to say or promote or anything?
Nah, just be ready, because we're still going. We're still writing. There's going to be more stuff on the way. Keep cranking the Year of Ruin EP in the meantime. We're just out here to have fun. We're going to make as much music as we can. As long as people are still listening and we're still having fun, it's going to keep coming. So.
All right, awesome. Well, Stella Sky, thank you guys for your time tonight. I know it's a little later than we planned on and everything.
But we figured it out.
We figured it out, and thank you guys for watching on Facebook right now too. So. Yeah, have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.
All right, man. Later.
Thank you.
Right. See you guys.
Later.
Thank you guys.
See you.